So in the end, we could still go down the middle path. But I think we're gonna go with Glory. We're gonna take the day off for ourselves. We need to collect ourselves. We have a lot of responsibility between the two worlds. And things have not been going well. I need a day to myself. Again. A different kind of day this time. A day to do the things I want to do, not to wallow. I pack a bag with water, extra socks, and some snacks. I head out without telling anyone. Ooh, are we going for a hike? I walk for hours. My feet take me to parts of Atina I've never visited before. The fog in my head lifts slightly, clears. The feeling of dread is still there, but it's a little more bearable. I get home late, exhausted, but lighter. For the first time in a while, sleep comes easily. Interesting. You took time for yourself. Apparently, that's a fairly rare achievement. Only like 6% of people took that path. Interesting. It makes me wonder if that's going to play into something in chapter 2. Alright, how myriad is this one? Ooh, we've got some splits, some recombinations, and then a couple more splits. Alright. The mourners come and go. We have something planned to honor Laszlo. It's nice out tonight. Warm, but not overbearing. Not a cloud in the sky. My heart's still in pieces, but my head is clearer. The voices are speaking more slowly now. As the gardens come into view, I feel another cramp scrunch itself around my abdomen. Perfect timing. I see a crowd has gathered for the wake. Familiar faces, strangers, people from every echelon of Alma society. I answer the sympathetic looks thrown my way with a smile, and my thoughts return to reverie. Even cast in red, it's a familiar place for me now, for better or worse. Truth has been restored, chaos found, and glory rescued. But there's more to do, and I still can't see the outcomes of our story.
In this moment, the present is your chief concern. It will be painful, but it always is. When many grieve as one, it may hurt less.
I head to the table where Nora and Ursula are sitting, proffering smiles and nods.
I've never seen the Naiads this crowded.
Me neither. Laszlo was loved by all of us.
Excuse me. She smiles, her eyes glassy. After a few moments of silence, Ursula and Nora drift off to mingle with the mourners. I stay put. I need a moment to gather myself. In my pocket, I feel my phone buzz. I glance down at the screen. It's a text from Liana. Let me know if you need anything. Liana, with all of MK's eyes on them. I hope they're all right. So this is help from chaos, which we didn't get. So we're going left. What? Right. This is the thing that was bugging me. Because in actuality, we went with receiving help from the aspirations. But because we chose chaos in the overview of the last section, it treated it as if we went the chaos path, which is like a bit of a... Not exactly a bait and switch, but it's unclear design. Which is annoying, because I want to go this way, but I guess we're going to the right. It's not letting me go this way. I make my way through the mourners, nodding and smiling, until I reach Nora and Jade. Ursula's there too. Jade and my mother are whispering furiously at each other.
You could have killed her. All of the prescience. I'm aware of that, but sometimes the surest means are the most direct. Direct? Look, I'm all for direct action, but that was dangerous. Yes, I'm not proud of what I was forced to do, or that I had to choose in the first place. But I did what had to be done.
By the time I reach them, Nora's in tears. When she sees me, she turns and walks away. With that, the rest of the group breaks apart. No, we're gonna catch up with Jade. What you thinking about, Jade? Jade has pushed her way past the crowd to sit on the steps of the Naiads. I join her.
Hey, Ursula's just... she's been through a lot.
I should go. I don't want to upset Nora more than I already have.
No, please, stay. I think you leaving, I think that would hurt her more than anything you could say.
Everything okay over here?
Omar crouches down next to us.
Tensions are running a little high.
I could see that. Things have been tough lately. On everyone. I wonder if Reverie will help give meaning to all this.
You mean... to Laszlo?
Yes. And provide context for his death. The
Context?
aspirations are linked to our world in ways even they can't fully comprehend. Perhaps they have answers. About life. About death.
Fuck the aspirations.
Jade's outburst momentarily shocks Omar into silence.
What do they care? All they're interested in is self-preservation. Right from the start, they latched onto our world like emotional vampires.
That's an interpretation.
Screw them.
What is this? Ruth is calling me. Wait, what? Oh, okay. So I pick one node, and then I can go there. Send Jade to Nora. Revoke Truth is calling me. No, I think we'll disagree with Jade here. That's not the way I see it.
No, that's not right. They helped us find Ursula. They brought us to you. Reverie has given us a chance to change the world.
And have we
What?
changed the world? For the better. Because all I can see is pain.
All right, Truth, what you got? What are you seeing? I look out over the wake. The hushed tones of whispered memories and heartfelt condolences seem completely at odds with the man they're talking about. I can imagine Laszlo striding through the crowd, grumbling loudly about how no one's having enough fun.
You are needed, Harmony.
No, not now.
I can't see what's ahead, but I know I need to remain here.
Our work in Reverie is not yet done. We need you.
No. Do you see where I am? What this is? No, I'm not leaving. You, all of you, will have to wait.
But the fate of...
Uh-oh.
I don't care.
Yikes.
Right now, I don't care. Leave me alone.
Well, Truth isn't looking so ship-shape at the moment. Wait. Oh, I would have needed to have denied them so I could go. Okay, so. Oh, Ursula's gonna give a speech. I see. I tune out for a moment, letting my mind drift to other things. Yana, Laszlo, Atina. So much has changed since my return here. Reverie, the aspirations. My idea of the world has shifted. The crystalline chime of cutlery on glass brings me back to my senses. Ursula stands at the head of the hushed crowd. She looks grave, but composed. Speech time.
Thank you all for coming here today. I can't speak for my family, but I know the sight of you gathered here has done me a world of good. So, Laszlo. Laszlo was...
He was the Laszlo-ist Laszlo that Laszlo'd, you know? And I think Laszlo would be happy to know that he Laszlo'd as hard as he Laszlo'd, that anyone could possibly and ever will Laszlo. She pauses, her eyes darkening for a moment.
Laszlo was my partner. Laszlo was a parent. Laszlo was the cornerstone of a community. Our community. And he is gone.
That violin. Her speech continues. She describes how they met and built a life together, both with young children in tow. But I'm not listening. I can't listen. Hearing the past tense used with his name is too much to bear. I can feel my mind drifting. Uh-oh, are we gonna slip to Reverie? Oh, we needed to have kissed Yana to take this option. I see. This would have unlocked that. Time for a confrontation. No more smiling about the old days. Ursula's still speaking. A ripple of laughter echoes through the crowd. Sniffles, the occasional repressed sob. The answers I need aren't here. They aren't in Brittle. It's time to return to Reverie. To confront the aspirations. They owe me, and they'll help me. They can find someone else to solve their problems. Truth abides. Interesting. Sad that we had to have kissed to unlock that. Chaos listens. Okay, that would have been interesting. So, Bliss apologizes. Bond pledges allegiance. Power bends. Glory repents. I think between these two, we're gonna have something to say. I don't think we're gonna be silent anymore. We are going to speak. I close my eyes, and the red sky of reverie appears before me. Where only recently I saw nothing but beauty in this landscape, I now feel injustice. I've done so much for this realm and its inhabitants. I've given so much of myself. It can't go on like this. Our arrangement has to change. I know they can hear my thoughts. I know they can feel my distress. The only question is, who will respond? I think we'll go with Bliss. Maybe? Wait a minute, hold on. I should have looked ahead here. Fuck. Okay, so Chaos is pessimistic. Incite a riot? Uh-oh. Unite Alma. Protect the Naiads. Truth is optimistic. Ooh, these two are complicated to unlock. Okay, so if we have a truth and a bond, that's Jade, family, gets an appeal of Alma. Encourage Jade to speak, make a speech, listen to the crowd. I feel like inciting a riot would be a little dangerous, all things considered. Can I get to the truth from here? So if I go with bond, we'll have a truth and a bond. We'll gain a power. Then over here, we'll trade our other truth for a bond. Have 2 truth crystals, lose 1. So we'll have 3 truth crystals. And then we can do all of these, actually. We'll basically trade our 3 truth crystals into 1 of each of the others, and then we gain 5 truths. Interesting. But to do this, we need a bond. So we have to go here. Interesting. So if we do this, are we going to brick anything? Oh, it's going to be our end choice anyway, so I don't need, so it's not going to matter if it bricks one of these. So we're going to take off the riot. I don't care to do that one. Protect the Naiads. Tempting. Unite Alma is also interesting. I kind of like either the truth or chaos options though, because of them involving me talking to the community and things like that. I feel like they're a little bit more flavored. They're a little bit more tied into things. And between the pessimism and the optimism, I want to be positive. about this. So we're gonna go the left path, but to do that, we need the Bond crystal. The James Bond crystal, if you will. The Bond is gonna pledge allegiance. Good thing I looked ahead. We're threading a needle here. A warm feeling of contentment washes over me. Bond.
These are strange times. Even those of us who have lived for generations haven't seen their like. It makes one wonder what the point of being an emotional gestalt even is.
You feel different.
Yes. Yes, I have changed these past few weeks. The state of reverie. The business with glory and chaos. I have not been my usual self. And for that, I apologize.
It's fine. But I need your help now. All of you.
I cannot speak for the others. But you have my allegiance. I will walk with you through these dire times.
Okay. Reality shivers. The lake whispers in my head. Ooh. Ooh, the lake again. I open my eyes. Instead of brittle, or even reverie, I see nothing but the void. Like I've awoken underwater. Strangely, I'm not scared. The most calming being here. Between the realms. Now there are footsteps and voices, muffled, like they're coming from above the surface. I can feel the effects of my conversation in reverie rippling outwards. What consequences will it have had? So much joy for such an event. What does your mother say to them? There's a tension in the air. Something's boiling up. I like it. Not sure you will. We're gonna go, yeah, we're sticking to the truth path on this. I close my eyes again, and the sound's clear. I'm back in the garden. The crowd is applauding the end of Ursula's speech. Not just applauding, cheering. Which is odd, considering the context. Someone grabs my shoulder. Omar.
You here?
No, actually, I did not.
No, I was away.
You in? Never mind. Listen.
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Just told everyone. Alma, the whole community. They've launched a class action lawsuit against MK.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, it was her idea.
Not what I expected, I'm gonna be honest.
It might even help the Prescience. Her way of apologizing, I guess.
He beams at me, claps me on the shoulder, and moves off. This is a big deal. MK controls the police, the security apparatus of Athena, but they've never managed to stack the courts. This might actually move the needle a little. Is this happening because of what I said? What I said in reverie? Truth is there.
The situation pivots once more.
I certainly didn't expect this. Not at all. It's not like my mother to be so community-minded.
Death is the ultimate clarifier. Your mother has changed. The question now is, will you change along with her?
The crowd shifts from cheering and chatting, cheering to chatting as many people start discussing things at once. I should make the most of this high energy moment. Alright, we need to do this in a specific order. So we do the 2 first. I make for Ursula. I want to know everything she has planned. She's shaking hands and touching arms, like a triumphant politician. Which, well, I suppose she almost is.
Quite the speech.
Yes, I'm sorry I didn't let you in on the secret earlier, but, well, I didn't want to take anything away from all this.
Laszlo would be proud.
She's momentarily taken aback.
You think so?
I know so. The last thing he'd have wanted is his death, distracting us from the real goal.
The real goal. I've wondered about that. What it actually is.
Freedom from the proletariat. No, freedom from the bourgeoisie as the proletariat. Seize the means of production.
The end of MK. The freeing of Athena and the unification of Reverie. I suppose.
Hardly much to ask for, is it?
She smiles before making her excuses. A local paper wants an interview. When I turn away, Nora is there.
You okay?
I should be asking you that.
I'm fine.
Come on.
Every morning I wake up with the world's worst headache, and I still can't hear out of my right ear.
Ooh.
Nora.
Small price to pay for, stopping MK
Oh no.
for now.
I want to scream to the world how proud I am of her. How she's become one of the strongest women I know. I want to grab her and never let go. Instead, I touch her arm and smile. She smiles back. Nothing more is needed. My phone buzzes. Yana. I take the excuse to separate myself from the crowd. It's all a little much. I text them the news of how happy I am about these developments. Alright, let's talk to Jade. I head over toward Jade. She's used to fighting this fight. Maybe she has some inspiring words or encouragement. Unsurprisingly, she's still with Nora. The two of them have been stuck to each other all night.
What do you make of all that then?
Not sure. Still processing.
But it's good, right? It's definitely good.
It's another step. We all need to rest before we even think about actually taking it. Think of everything we've done in, what, a week? It's crazy. I want to see how the trial goes. I'm used to facing MK in the trenches, Civil disobedience, all that jazz. I wonder what can be done in the courtroom. Alma's the type of community that bands together in a crisis. We can help each other more if we rest.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just a little bit of real life leaking in, but not a lot of confidence in the court when going against a giant corpo that owns and controls basically over half the island in some form or fashion.
Rest. After seeing Ursula actually give a shit again. I feel like I've just drunk 10 espressos.
That's how I felt at first. When I met you all, I was in a bad place. Burned out, disillusioned.
Burnout is rough.
Thanks to you, Nora, I figured out how to prioritize. Deal with my own needs as well as Alma's.
Aw, that's cute. Nora smiles, blushes a little.
I don't want to see you lot make the same mistakes I did.
That makes sense. I'm glad you don't sugarcoat it. But your expertise, your work, it's still inspiring.
I understand what you mean, Jade. My mind is in so many places at once. It's disorienting. It takes you over.
Right. Which is why we need to keep ourselves sharp.
Gotta keep ourselves sharp so we can stab them corpos. All right, now let's do a little bit of a glad handing with the people of Alma. All right. Say hi to the neighbors. I decide to tour the crowd, reconnect with the faces of my past. At first, it's difficult. Everyone's so excited about Ursula's news that they've clustered in knots of friends. Tight-knit circles with no point of entry. Fucking oof. That can be, as an introvert, there's a reason I don't go to parties. Then someone recognizes me, calls my name, then another person, and another. Soon I'm moving from person to person, introductions and names flowing freely. I learn about new mutual aid projects, including a community kitchen in the works, where people can share food, appliances, and other resources. Another group of people tell me stories about their work, tracking and repelling drone activity. I'll never remember everyone I just met, but every now and then, I see someone I recognize. Yeah, working at a community kitchen, I feel is very fulfilling and rewarding. And I realize how much I've missed this place. Atina. My home. Now you've heard everyone's options. You have data to consider. The crowd is murmuring now, talking together about the night and about Laszlo. I lose focus on the crowd as I become increasingly aware of Truth's summons in the back of my mind. I make my excuses, head to my room, and lock the door. They're there. They look oddly
A
pleased.
sound tactic, canvassing the many to distill their desires, to discover the truth behind the intent.
I just wanted to know how people were feeling.
Many would not have cared, but you do. Before you, before your mother, no oracle had ever dared test us.
Ah, interesting. So perhaps the aspirations are not used to being questioned, and also not used to push back. So perhaps the Oracle, unbeknownst to them, has a bit more of leverage and control than they are aware that the role had. Wondering if they're realizing they need to be a bit more personable, a bit more accommodating, a bit more less authoritarian dictating and a bit more collaborative.
To challenge us. Us. The very thought was unthinkable. But with that challenge came a self-reflection, a canvassing, to discover our own truths.
You're welcome.
Ah, yes, Truth has now discovered truth. Noted.
You remain dissatisfied with our work.
Yeah, things look things seem a little bit shit right now, to put it bluntly.
It's all abstractions and rituals. Too much and it becomes frustrating.
An acquired taste, to be sure. But rest assured that we are taking your concerns into account.
Yeah, these rituals, like, I mean, they worked way back in the old school, but like, we got some technology now. Have I ever shown you a computer truth? All right, now how would you like to have all of reality's knowledge at your fingertips with a simple couple presses of the button? Let me get you hooked up, all right? You know, I can get you a very nice fiber optic. You know what? Actually, how am I going to connect the internet into an interdimensional realm? You know, this might be a bit of a design challenge, but you know, if rituals from Brittle can interact with Reverie, I'm sure I can find an ISP that will send data between the dimensions. I feel like you're going to have to pay a premium Well, that's just the price of knowledge, Truth.
The final choice still lies ahead. Which of us will you trust to take up the mantle of the heart? To make such a decision, you must be armed with information.
I thought we chose chaos. I thought that was the whole thing of the last section.
I'm really trying not to think about that.
What if I told you there was another way?
Another path?
Not a choice between aspirations, but a decision about what you might become.
Are we gonna get a title drop? Or are they going to insinuate we transcend to a god to an aspiration ourselves? Are we gonna become harmony? Is that what the lake is foreshadowing? Is that foreshadowing us becoming an aspiration?
Will soon.
No! Stop! Tell me! Damn it, Truth! Stop teasing me! The conversation is over, but their words pick at the edge of my mind, like an idea trying to get in. Oh, I can still pick a main one. So... I think between the two, we're gonna go with Unite Alma. Community strong together. I spend the rest of the evening talking to locals from here in Alma. They all have stories about the Naiads. How they stayed here as a child, slept here when their homes were repossessed by MK. How they relied on the community kitchen. How it gave them time to get back on their feet. How it was a constant, a reminder of happier times. Everyone wants to see it open again. When we were forced to close after Ursula disappeared, and now after Laszlo's death, it felt like part of the community had been torn out. The question I hear most often, by far, is, when will the Naiads open again? I tell them the truth. I don't know. Nora wants it to open immediately. Jade too. But I'm not so sure. There are bigger issues at hand. Still, we offer beds to the few people who need them for the night. A small return to normalcy.
Through peace and hardship, the Naiads remains a vital organ within Alma.
It's a serviceable headquarters as well, though I would not call it a stronghold.
It need not be a fortress. This place will persist as long as it brings people together. Life has been stolen from the Naiads, but life has also returned.
Indeed. Wars are not often won or waged by individuals.
This is an organism in itself, Harmony. One which must be nurtured.
Keep its blood pumping.
Interesting back and forth between bond and power. Their own metaphors for the Naiads. There's talking more protests tomorrow, fueled by news of the lawsuit. We will see that what the morning brings. But for now, I'm happy to be here with our community. With dawn comes change. The wake is in the past. The night is over. And what a night. Somehow, I sense this is the beginning of the end. Whatever path I choose, whatever future I decide, Reverie is almost healed. The aspirations are back to their full powers. Whatever choices I make, I need to be certain. That saying this is the penultimate chapter? Okay. This is a tough decision. Alma united or rebellion isn't peaceful. Shoot. Gosh, I wish I knew what was gonna happen. I really don't trust power. We've been following chaos. Rage embodied sounds like a surefire way to get people killed. I mean, we've already had people get killed. That's the problem. With MK controlling so much. But the thing is I don't know what this means. I don't know if this is gonna like trigger like we are going to start doing direct action against MK. Like, what does it mean by this? Because there is certainly an aspect of, oh, now we have a lawsuit. Well, we can just, you know, sit back now. And it's like, I'm not sure a giant corporation that owns half the island is going to simply roll over and take a beating in the courts. Like, they own the police. They are the police of the island. There's also the other aspect that, like, I've, like, this whole time, I kind of am pretty sus of power. That animation we had at the end of the last chapter still makes me super sus of power. I am curious as to truth now, but we can't, you know, pick the middle path. We've only got these two. There's also the aspect of glory. It's our first time we've had an opportunity to get more glory. And glory was the one that was talking about, like, hey, you need to take some self-care, which we did go with in this chapter. God, this is a tough decision. Glory seems very self-interest aligned. Maybe? I don't know, like, she kind of had some good points when we were in a depressive spiral. It's like, you need to care for yourself right now. Fucking all of this reverie bullshit can wait. You need to be in a good headspace before even thinking about dealing with any of this bullshit. Chaos being a person of the of the now and not really thinking ahead or anything. Him being like, his was whatever. But Glory was just like, you know, I care about, you know, people not burning themselves out. You need to care for yourself, you know, as well. Also, I'm curious what the difference between these two is. Because Alma United, with Power saying, rise, Alma, rise. Especially with Power, this one also still sounds like, you know, a bit of action in the streets, so to speak. We're gonna go with Alma United. It is so hard to decide, but we'll see how this pans out. After what happened before between me and the aspirations, Power and Bond are determined to act. I can feel it. They will shape the world according to what I do.
Unite all of Alma. Our community is essential.
This will give me a glimpse of what they could do with their powers if they were chosen as the heart. Fatigue has lowered my defenses. My mind is an open book. Bond and Power can surely tell how exhausted I am.
It will be done. For now, all you must do is rest.
Difference between community protest versus personally firebombing?
It will
Perhaps.
still be the time for action, but not yet. Save your strength for the struggle ahead.
An official investigation into MK has just been opened. Who knows where it'll lead us? Outside, there's a march starting. It's all boiling over. Laszlo's death, the freeing of the prescients, and MK's inhuman policies. I watch the people set out. I hear them chanting, "No more," as they close in on central Athena. I hear them working to block the streets. With these barricades, Alma is cutting itself off from the rest of the island. My heart is with them. You have to be the force changing the world. Sirens scream all night long. Gunshots tear the stillness apart. The future is so uncertain.
Harmony. You are on the right path to understanding who we truly are.
Whatever's waiting for me outside.
Has been in motion for centuries.
Power's heavy hand brushes past my shoulder, and what? Also, interesting that Act 4 was called Numb. I see. It's like Glory's goes a lot faster than the others, but I think that's just because the opportunity to get Glory crystals compared to the others is much smaller. I do kind of wonder what happens if we max out any. Like if we get someone fully charged. It's probably going to be Bond. Bond has generally been pretty good, pretty chill, pretty sensible, which makes sense considering they're the aspiration of like community. You know, they originally existed as like multitudinous entities, and they only coalesced into a gestalt singular entity because it's easier to relate and interact with the Oracle and other aspirations as a singular entity, but they're still overall a gestalt. Linkin Park reference. I think it's just general depression kind of thing. I assume maxing them out locks them in as... Oh, that's an interesting idea. That perhaps I can only pick someone for the heart who I've maxed out with. Ooh, I never even thought about that. Interesting. We'll have to see. Ooh. Animation time. What do we got? Ah! Bliss took some of his fire. Oh. This is prehistoric. So Bliss is Prometheus. Okay, we see like people traveling. We see Bond helping people build here in Athena. Truth, fountains of areas of knowledge. glory here at competitions. And then we return to the beginning. Chaos and the flame. That was a really cool animation. That was really cool. That's cute, love. Yeah, Bliss is great. And it was also, I think, I'm not 100%, but I think it also showed the aspirations in order of them coming into manifestation. Because Chaos was said to be first, Bliss was second. And, you know, go through. So I think Lori is the most recent aspiration. Because also, like, advancing through the ages. And he goes, I'll have a wonderful, rejuvenating eep, Lucy. And thanks for stopping on by. A memento mori. It is interesting at the very end. We go back to the very start with Chaos and their flame. So my question is this a sign that everything is going back to the start in some fashion? We are resetting things in some way. Or that something new is going to happen. You know, we've seen all of these things come about from Chaos. It's just so... I feel like there's got to be a reason that the end of it wasn't like just glory, but it was another scene with Chaos holding their flame. Maybe it's the sense that Bliss gave Spark Deep-Pain and now Poly... Harmony is that spark returning to the aspirations. That would be interesting because they did, you know, that was a recent thing Truth talked about, that the Oracle, you know, challenging and defying the aspirations. And so we had the start, we had Poly giving fire to humans. And so now I give harmony to the discordant gods. Or the discordant aspirations. Perhaps instead of one heart, one of them ruling over all, there's a bit more of equality, harmony, synthesis between all of the aspirations. Perhaps rather the problem has been one of the aspirations being above all the others. And therefore, in the sense that any one of the aspirations in too much extreme is bad. So what they need is not one of the aspirations being better than all of them, but rather all of the aspirations being properly balanced. Because you need a little bit of all of them. And balance conflict. Exactly. I love this game. This game is a feast. At the same time, a free-for-all is clearly not terrible either. Hence, harmony helping it. Exactly. Behind our every move, walking in our footsteps, the aspirations have always been there. They guided us, showed us the way. Their way. And now we, the humans, show them the way. The vision I had proved one thing. The world is always ready to change, and I must be too. The circle of aspirations is complete again. Very soon, it'll be time to put an end to all this, and choose a new heart. A heart to lead future generations, to lead the world. I won't be choosing only for Athena or myself. There are many things at stake. Many lives. After everything we've been through...
This is it. And I can't do it alone.
I need all the help I can get. There is no overarching item. There are a lot of end paths. This is going to be a very interesting chapter, or a very interesting act. See 6 slots in a row and then 1 above. Yeah, but there's also like, you see 7 slots, 8, 9, so there's like 9 in this one. So that's what I'm saying, like, there are... Ooh, pivot? That's what I'm saying. The topmost feels like a Harmony end? Maybe. I am certainly very curious. There's the mystery of the lake. And Harmony absolutely feels like an aspiration name. So it's just kind of... I don't know... Because we haven't heard if, like, the Oracle is called Harmony, period. If it's a title like Oracle, that's just what they call them. We didn't hear about much when our mother was the Oracle, if she had another name. And we haven't... I don't think we've heard them refer to her by anything other than Oracle. So, I don't know if she had a different name, if she was called Harmony before, or if there is a reason that we are called Harmony. There's certainly a lot of question marks around the whole Oracle system, like how they're selected and how it changes. So there is plenty of ground for us to discover things.